Hey, howdy. Well, I'm doing this again. And this time, I've got a bit of a plan. I got double damage on, I got drizzle on, I got all artifacts turned on. My plan is to beat the game. Now, whether or not I actually beat the game is a different question entirely, but if I do it, it will be really cool. And I'm running basically the same build that I was running last time. I think Pilot is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters just for this. For aerobatics and all the wacky stuff that you can do. Also, for this challenge specifically, Pilot is really, really good. Because thanks to the artifact of distortion, I have limited options for how I can deal with certain situations. But the benefit of Pilot is that I have two different abilities that that are completely disjointed. So I can just run like hell. Oh, I want that. I want that red item. I want it. Thank you. Alright, teleport up here, please. I might be too close to them. Come on. Now Ceremonial Dagger starts to cook. And I'm not sure how far this run's gonna go. Such is life with this challenge that either I make it to the end of stage 1 or I make it to the end of stage 3. I have never made it I've never even made it to the contact life before. Because this challenge is bone grinding. So let me run down a list of everything that I have to overcome for people that aren't aware of this. So, the reason why I'm doing this is because the final artifact that I've yet to unlock is the Artifact of Origin, and in order to unlock it, I need to beat the game with every single other artifact equipped. Now, what do they do? There's the Artifact of Kin, which is this little number up here. It guarantees that one and only one type of enemy will spawn, and as of a Risk of Rain returns, it also makes the boss wave into a horde wave. Or into a horde boss instead of being an actual boss, of course. Honor guarantees that enemies spawn as elites. Let's see. Honor Kin. Spirit is kind of the lamest one. Spirit, just the lower your health is, the higher your movement speed is. Most of the time it affects enemies more than it affects you, but it doesn't have that much of an impact. It's more... The main thing that it impacts is that in combination with glass, whenever you take fall damage, you get a movement speed boost. Distortion is one of the biggest negative artifacts here. Every minute, I think you saw the lock flash. Every minute, a random one of my 4 skills will randomly get locked, and it will not be unlocked until potentially the next minute. There's that. There's the Artifact of Glass, which is a huge problem. If I remember the numbers correctly, it gives you a 500% damage boost, but locks you at 10% health. And when I say locks you, I mean, in the original game, you could kind of cheese it with Infusion, because Infusion, when you kill enemies, it gives you more max health. So the solution is just, to get yourself more max health. I think I'm gonna go Hermit Scarves. This is actually a pretty decent run, so I wanna play it as safe as I can. But Glass locks you at a maximum. Not only does it lock you at 1/10 of your normal health, even if you use stuff like Infusion to raise your health, your max HP is locked at 1000. Normally it's locked at 9999. So, there's that. There's also, you might notice these weird colored corpses. There's also the artifact of cognation. This is one of the new ones from Risk of Rain Returns. Whenever an enemy dies, it will summon a fading clone of itself that after, I think it's 15 seconds, give or take, the clone will completely disappear and not drop anything. And now onto some of the more beneficial ones. There's the artifact of sacrifice, which is debatedly good, but in situations like this, it tends to be bad more than good. Chests no longer drop, instead enemies will drop items. I'm just gonna go straight away and then just use my G. It's not worth it. Yeah, I thought so. Not worth it. And run like hell. Hey. That was rude. And this is why you pick up Guardian Heart. That would have insta-killed me. There's the artifact of sacrifice, which is really obnoxious after a certain point. Do I fight I don't think I fight Acrid. It's too dangerous. Oh, yes, thank you. Give me more daggers. I desperately need them. There's the artifact of command, which is the reason I've been able to pick my items. And I think artifact of command might be my favorite because I would argue that it has a downside. It has the least impactful downside of any artifact on paper, but in practice, the downside of the artifact of command is that you're required to pick all of your items. There is no random option. So, I mean, beyond just option paralysis, there's the issue of, okay, I want to pick up an item to make myself stronger. I have to walk up to the item and roll through the menu until I find the item that I'm looking for. It's slightly less awkward in this game, but in the original game, the menu was even clunkier. And there's also one that, I mean, I always forget is even enabled, is the artifact of Enigma. That use items no longer drop. Instead, your use item will randomly change each time you use it. Now this one is deceptively impactful for the run. Sort of it has a positive aspect and a negative aspect. The positive aspect is that use items will no longer drop, so anytime something drops off of command, it's guaranteed to be a red item, a green item, or a white item, or a boss item. Or, well, boss items can't spawn because of kin. The other thing, and the downside, is that there are some active items that would be really, 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 really helpful here, like the shield generator, which I used last level. You know, becoming invincible seems pretty good, but I can't use it, not consistently at least. Now, I do get access to these little Enigma shards, and those reduce the cooldown of my active item, which is something. I need to get to high ground, and I need to get to high ground fast because they follow me. Yep. No, thank you. Okay. Grab some clovers. Clovers are kind of your bread and butter for this challenge, weirdly enough. Just like Risk of Rain 2, clovers are just an auto pickup. Because in their original incarnation, what clovers would do is they would add a chance for elite monsters to drop items. And this is cumulative with the base chance of sacrifice for monsters to drop items. To the point that if you have enough clovers, it's possible for monsters to each drop 2 items. Now, the downside of this is that there have been times where I've gone way too far in, and I ended up crashing my game because there was way too much. Hello, lawn. Hello, leaf blower. Nice to see you're back. Nope, that's a vacuum cleaner. What other artifacts have I not touched on? I think just Tempest. Artifact of Tempest is a very strange one. It's strange, and it impacts the game in a very unique way. While you have the Artifact of Tempest, I should not have picked up Bitterroot. It does basically nothing here. While you have the Artifact of Tempest, items are now temporary, but you get 3 copies of them. And I think this turns the meta, as it were, completely on its head. In a very interesting way, because now you play this weird sort of inventory game whenever you want to add items to your inventory. Because there's now a ticking clock over every single one of my items, and eventually they're all going to go away unless I get more. And I love this artifact. I think it's really, really interesting. It's also great for cheese, because if you get something like barbed wire, it doesn't really matter that there's a timer going if you're just going to restock it as much as possible. I need movement speed and I need backup magazines, but I think this run is winnable if I'm careful. I just need to play it safe, play it cool. I'm down to 1 ceremonial dagger, which is a problem. Luckily, I have the wave dash, so I have a way to get around quickly and away from danger. Right, that's another one. There's another artifact I forgot to mention. That's the artifact of prestige. Another new one, and another one that's genuinely really interesting. So, prestige. You might have noticed the claw shrines sort of dotted around each area. Those are challenges of the mountain. They were a feature from Risk of Rain 2 that got carried over into Risk of Rain 1, or Risk of Rain Returns, rather, after the community fell in love with the concept. Basically, you fight 2 bosses, you get 2 rewards. Please just let me aim down. Thank you very much. You fight 2 bosses, you get 2 rewards. In the context of Artifact of Kin, it just makes it so that more enemies spawn. So, prestige changes that a little bit. When you have the Artifact of Prestige, also this is really bad. Go away. This is where you see the downside of command. Even if that red item was something completely useless, doesn't matter, I still can't pick it up. And because of distortion, I don't have my axe right now. And golems are going to keep spawning. Go away. Just give me a moment's peace. So that I can stack some barbed wire. Uh-oh. Overloading enemies are terrifying? Okay. Back to what I was saying. Artifact of Prestige. So, Prestige makes it so that challenges of the mountain are permanent. So, when you use one, the effect will persist for the rest of the run. Conveniently enough, they also made it in Risk of Rain Returns that challenges of the mountain are now stackable. Or are now stackable with a visual indicator that they're stacking. They didn't do that before, and I imagine that's why they implemented that. That's either why they implemented Prestige, or that's why they implemented the other half. I don't know where what's the chicken and what's the egg there. Damn, Rotten Brain's putting in work. Okay. I can cook with this. I need to be careful. Let's get rid of this dude. And you. Okay. Now I can start doing this, which will speed things up tremendously. Greed is genuinely a dangerous factor here. That if I'm not careful and I jump in without thinking, it's going to kill me. Okay. So what to do here? I think I invest in mochas for the final stage. Mochas, backup magazines, more Guardian Hearts because I'm starting to run out. Some more barbed wire. Barbed wire, Guardian Heart. Damn. Okay, this is the contact light, and I have a shield generator ready. This is actually very good, and I have Dios. And it's golems. Excellent. I'm just gonna suck it up and do this one, because I know a backdoor I can run out of to do the rest of this area a bit safer. Speaking of safer, game, can you please not? Okay. Fine. May as well, right? Okay, I know another way out. Up through here. I'm not sure if I can make this jump. These enemies are not going to make it any easier. But this is a good place to sit for a second and grind some items. Because a weird side effect of Kin is that grinding items is more of, like, it's more of a concept than usual, because normally if you spend too long in an area, you're going to start to attract less desirable enemies. And eventually they're just going to kill you. Here, the only thing that spawns is golems. So I'm not going to say that I have free reign, but it's definitely a lot safer to go for to grind here. Not to mention, if I one-shot Providence, that is going to make things a lot easier. You probably could have guessed that. And I mean, you could make the argument that this is kind of dishonorable and all that. I don't care. This is the hardest challenge that the game can possibly offer, besides there's some specific other things that I don't really want to say out loud because they're spoilers. But there are some things that the game can offer you beyond this, but this is like the quintessential Risk of Rain challenge. If you can do this, you can do anything. In both the original game and in this game. Also, I guess shield does go above 1,000. The more you know, I guess. To this day, I don't know if the Cognation elites are considered elites for the sake of Clover. I think they are, actually. I need to be careful I don't just get chipped down to 0 health. I'm trying to farm to win. That means I need to live until Providence. And also, this is, I'm showing off the unique dichotomy of this artifact cocktail pretty well. That now I'm in a situation where I'm balancing my artifacts I'm balancing my items pretty well in terms of greens, but in terms of whites, all my items besides the select few that I'm continuously getting more of are slowly getting eaten away. So I'm slowly losing backup mags, I'm slowly losing movement speed from both of the movement speed items, and I'm slowly losing extra lives from Dio's best friend. So I'm kind of tempted to fast track it because of that, but I think this is working. Plus, there's more Dios right there. And you might be wondering why I'm continuing to farm, even though I'm pretty sure this beats Providence at this point. The main reason is I don't trust this game. Who's to say that I get this far and then the game just drops a final phase on top of me because I have all artifacts enabled? That's pretty clearly not going to happen, but better safe than sorry, right? This is shaping up to be a successful run. That doesn't mean it's going to be successful. I've played enough Isaac to know that. Hell, I played enough Risk of Rain to know that. And enough Spelunky. That's the roguelike MO, is that there's a difference between having the capability to win a run and actually winning a run. So better overkill here. This is probably good. Because I gotta open up these doors anyway. I was debating grabbing red whips. I need to sit over here. I was debating grabbing red whips, but I'm taking chip damage so much at this point it's not gonna do much. Okay. This has been an exceptionally lucky run, but this has got to be like my 50-something try. Like I'm amazed this run has made it as long as it has, and I think Guardian Heart really was the sticking point. Okay. So enemies are still going to keep spawning, but I can grab some stuff while I'm here. And just slowly make my way across. It frightens me, because I remember seeing that it was either Starstorm or there was some other Risk of Rain mod that added a difficulty that was even higher than Monsoon. I don't even want to know what that's like now. If they do, if whoever was working on the mod decides to make it for Risk of Rain Returns, I don't even want to know. It's probably ridiculously hard. Noita level of hard was like, okay, you've downloaded the mod. Good luck making it out of the first stage. And there we are. It's every single artifact. Come and get me, Providence. Part 1. Do the worms? The worms don't have cognate variants. Interesting. Ow. Okay, that was a little disrespectful. I'll get some barbed wire for the road. You thought me defeated? Well, yeah. Sorry, Providence. We'll be seeing you next Tuesday. God, that's satisfying. And so he left, with his dreams of the sky below. This would be solemn if not for the freaking vacuum cleaner in the background again. Whatever. I did it. I'm happy. Yeah, and it's still the same. Is there a... There is a run history, oh my god, yeah. Okay, so, you might notice, every single one of these are all origin tries. Does it show the time? Where is the time? Time alive. 9:29, 0:55, 6... Spite, Acrid, oops, Spite, Child, Mechanical Spider, Swift, Gup. There you are. Troc, Spite, Clayman, Spite, Spite, Rock Golem, Spite, Parent. That was a Rainstorm run. Yeah, this ain't easy. This ain't easy at all. Damn, 86% though. I still got crap I gotta do, but this game's awesome. I love this game. But that's all I got for now. I'm very surprised I actually managed to do that. I was expecting this to be talking while I failed over and over. Thanks so much for watching.